What's up, nail crew? It's Nicole, your fellow nail obsessed DIYer, and I got to try Polygel from Evie. She is the long hair pretty nails YouTuber, and I have been following her, well, subscribing and loving her nail videos. So when she came out with her own Polygel, I knew I had to buy it, and I waited 6 months for this. I went to buy it the first time and it sold out in a few weeks, and I didn't realize how fast it would sell out. So as soon as it came back in stock, I had to get it, and I got the clear because I wanted to see how clear is this clear. I've heard that Polygel can't be clear and it usually turns out cloudy, and spoiler alert, this clear is insanely clear. So let's jump right in. The very first thing I did was I prepped my nails. I roughed up the surface of my nails with this new bit I got. It's a Pana fine sanding bit, and I love this. Normally I've been using the sanding bits that come with whatever drill I've had. So I have a bunch of these packs of brown sanding bits that you get with pretty much any of your drills, and that's all I've been using for the past couple years. But I saw these and I thought, I wonder if the sanding bits are any different. Let me tell you, these Pana fine ones were so nice. Then after I removed the shine off my nails, I went in with this little cuticle bit and went around my cuticles just to get off all the invisible cuticle and make sure nothing was stuck from the last time that I did my nails too. Then I dehydrated my nails, make sure I got all that dust off. And normally I do this with a stiff nail brush, but all my nail brushes were dirty except for one, and I needed it to dust off any of the dip that I had on my nails when I was dipping after I got the Polygel on. So I had to save it for that, and I am really bad about that. I usually forget to clean my nail brushes and end up cleaning 30 at once. I use my nail dehydrator and then nail primer. You have to start with a base on your nails for Polygel. Most people use gel base on their nails before they do Polygel, but for me, if I use gel base on my nails, everything will lift. I learned probably 2 years ago that if I use builder gel straight on my nails, it will either one, stick that I can just use builder gel another layer on top of it, or two, it also adheres Polygel. Again, if you have normal hands, then you probably are going to want to use a thin layer of gel base to get your Polygel to stick. But for me, I used a really thin layer of builder gel. And now we're getting to the fun part. I put my paper form on, and I wanted to extend my nails to really see how this clear looked on an extension. I've never extended my nails with Polygel, so this was my first time extending my nails with Polygel, and I've used, I want to say, probably close to 10 Polygel brands at this point, 8 to 10. I'd have to sit down and really think how many I've used, but I've used a few, and this clear Polygel was hands down the easiest I have ever used. It went on beautifully, applied so nicely, and you can see right here, I did a different method for each of my nails that I extended, at least the first 3 nails, to see what I liked the best. I chose where to put the first bead. Each time I did it a different place, and this one I did it right on where the extension would be, and then did a second bead towards the back, and then tried to blend them together, and they blended together so nicely. That's something that I noticed on some of the Polygels I've used, that the beads don't blend together as nicely. But this clear Polygel from Evie Polygel, look at that. Look how clear it is. It extended so well. And then I went and added a second layer on because I didn't do that great of a job doing an apex, and I'm keeping my nails a little bit longer, medium length. So I like to have a nice apex because I'm really rough on my hands and I don't want to break my nails. And this is something else that I was blown away by with this Polygel. The second layer of the Polygel blended in perfectly with the first one. You literally could not tell that I had applied a second layer of Polygel onto my first layer. This was another huge win for me, a huge bonus for this Polygel, was that the layers of the clear blended in so beautifully. There have been a couple Polygels I've used where when you put a second layer on, it does not blend in at all. It looks like you have a totally different Polygel on your nails, and this clear, so I was shocked. I could not believe how well this blended in. I fully cured each layer. I did the first one, I fully cured that, did the second one, fully cured that. And then at the end, I'm going to go through and I'm going to do all my filing, buffing, shaping, all that, because I ended up making these a little bit thicker than what I normally like to do. I'm not super experienced in Polygel, so I tend to go a little bit thicker just so I can file them down nicely and give myself a little bit bit of extra, like, I don't know, playing room to get the shaping exactly how I want it. For my pointer finger, I started with one big thick bead, and I thought, okay, let me see how this applies if I shove it towards the back of my nail, towards my cuticle, and then push it towards the front, and it applied just as well. And then I realized, oh my gosh, like I totally did not put enough polygel on my nails. But then I had to put a little small bead towards the front, like where my extension was, to make sure I had some there so that I could at least have something under my nail when I went and did the second layer. And every time I added more polygel to these nails, it just kept blending in so beautifully, and it was crystal clear. It was really, really easy to work with. And for my slip solution, I just use 99% alcohol. I do have a regular slip solution for polygel, but I know on Evie's videos, she always says that she just uses isopropyl alcohol. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to use that and see how it worked. And it worked great. Like, look how clear these nails are. I mean, the shaping, like, it's looking really rough. I'm going to have to do a lot of shaping and filing. That was the first time doing it like a full extension with polygel from short nails. The last time I just did a tiny extension when I used polygel. So I went through and I filed and shaped with a nail file. I used the 100 side of the nail file and just gave them like the nice almond shape that I like before I even started going over the top and trying to file down to the thickness I like. Then I went in and sealed with my little cuticle bit. I went in and sealed my cuticles, and then I tried to use the file on the top of my nail to get the right thickness, but I was getting tired and it was taking too long. So I busted out this Panafine sanding bit, and it filed down the polygel beautifully. Like, I was able to maintain my shape. I could really get the apex going. Look how nice they turned out. I was just like so excited this entire time. I decided to add gel base and gel top because I like to use peel base over all my manis. So I went back in after I cleaned off all the dust. I went back in with dehydrator and primer to make sure that my gel base and my gel top stayed really nicely. That really helps it adhere well. And look at this, as I'm going through with the gel base and gel top, look at how clear this polygel is. I have so many fun manis now that I can do with using the polygel as a clear topper. Like, I definitely have to encapsulate some glitter. I have some Halloween manis that I want to play with bats and stuff. I would 100% recommend this patty gel to anyone, especially if you're new trying out polygel or you're an experienced nail person. You are going to love this. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed today's review, and check out my next tutorial on dipping over extensions. Thanks, nail crew.